All right, so get ready because today we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the millionaire mindset.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is, and you shared this piece with me,
Yeah.
and it claims to have this revolutionary technique for like transforming your financial life. So let's uh
Okay.
let's get into it.
Yeah, let's see what it's all about.
Exactly.
What really stood out to me
Yeah.
in this source was the emphasis on mindset
Okay.
as like the foundation. It's arguing that achieving financial success isn't just about the numbers in your bank account.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how you view money
Yeah.
and the beliefs you hold about wealth.
I'm really curious about that.
Okay.
So are they saying like even if someone isn't born rich or, wins the lottery,
Right.
they can still develop this like millionaire mindset?
That's exactly right. The source goes into several key characteristics of
Okay.
this mindset, like recognizing opportunities
Mm-hmm.
that others might miss, building consistent habits that support wealth creation,
Okay.
and constantly exploring avenues for investment.
Right.
It's about moving away from a scarcity mindset, that fear of not having enough,
Yeah.
and embracing the possibility of abundance and prosperity.
Okay, so instead of saying like, I can't afford that,
Right.
someone with a millionaire mindset might ask, how can I make this happen? Is that kind of what
Yeah.
we're talking about?
Imagine a gardener who focuses on nurturing the soil, providing the right conditions for growth.
Right.
They understand that healthy, thriving plants are a natural outcome
Hmm.
of that care.
Yeah.
It's a similar principle with building wealth. It's about laying the groundwork
Mm-hmm.
for financial success to flourish.
That analogy really clicks for me. It makes it
Yeah.
so much more understandable. Now, the source also lays out 5
Yeah.
tips for actually developing this millionaire mindset. It's like a roadmap
Mm.
to financial success.
Absolutely. And these aren't just vague suggestions. They're actionable steps anyone can take.
Awesome.
Let's dive into the first one,
Okay.
which emphasizes the importance of setting clear financial goals.
I've heard that before,
Sure.
but I'm always up for a refresher.
No.
What's the source's take
Oh.
on this?
Well, it gets pretty specific. Using the example of saving for a house down payment,
Uh,
it suggests breaking down that big, potentially overwhelming goal
mm,
into smaller,
Yeah.
manageable monthly savings targets.
I can see how that would make it feel less daunting. Having a concrete number in mind can really
Right.
help focus your efforts. Okay, I'm on board with that one. What's next on this roadmap to riches?
Tip number 2 goes hand in hand with setting those goals.
Okay.
Practicing financial discipline. It's not just about wanting financial success.
Right.
It's about taking concrete actions to get there.
So we're talking about budgeting, controlling impulse purchases,
Exactly.
kind of thing.
The source even gives a scenario. Imagine you get a salary increase.
Okay.
Someone with a millionaire mindset wouldn't immediately
Yeah.
increase their spending.
Right.
They'd see it as an opportunity to invest more and accelerate their progress toward their goals.
That's some serious delayed gratification.
Right.
But I guess the payoff down the line could be huge. Honestly, I think that's where I struggle the most.
Okay.
Are there any insights in the source about how to actually develop that discipline?
It's interesting. The source doesn't necessarily delve into specific tactics, but it does highlight the importance of making conscious choices with your money
Mm-hmm.
and constantly reminding yourself of your long-term goals. It's about shifting your perspective from instant gratification to long-term prosperity.
I like that. It's not about deprivation.
Right.
It's about aligning your actions with your aspirations. So what's the next step on our journey to financial enlightenment?
Tip number 3 is all about knowledge.
Okay.
Specifically, investing in financial education.
Okay.
You can't expect to master something you don't understand, right?
Makes sense. I'm a firm believer in lifelong learning,
Right.
and that definitely applies to managing money. Does the source offer any suggestions for like how to
Completely.
boost our financial IQ?
It recommends checking out resources like the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad
Okay.
and exploring finance-focused YouTube channels.
Mm,
There's a wealth of information out there,
yeah.
and it's more accessible than ever.
It's true. You can find a podcast, a book, a course
Right.
for pretty much anything these days. But I think what's really powerful is the source's point about the dangers
Yeah,
of financial illiteracy.
absolutely.
They even connect it to potential bankruptcy.
Mhm.
That's a pretty stark reminder
Yeah,
that knowledge is power
it is.
when it comes to money.
Absolutely. Financial literacy is essential for navigating the complexities of the financial world.
Yeah.
and making informed decisions that support your long-term well-being.
I'm completely with you there. It's not just about getting rich. It's about being empowered and making choices that align with your values and goals.
Exactly.
So, what's next on the agenda? This millionaire mindset roadmap is getting me pumped.
Well, tip number 4 is where things get really exciting.
Okay.
It's about shifting from simply saving money to actively investing it. That's where the magic of compound interest and market growth really comes into play.
Now, that's a topic that's always fascinated me.
Yeah.
But I'll admit, it can feel a bit intimidating. I'm more of a set it and forget it kind of person when it comes to finances. Does the source make investing sound more approachable?
What's great about this source is that it acknowledges that intimidation factor.
Yeah.
It even highlights a study by Vanguard, one of the world's largest investment management companies.
Okay.
The study found that investing consistently leads to significantly greater wealth growth over time compared to just saving. It's about putting your money to work for you.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right.
Tell me more.
So the source breaks down some different investment options,
Okay.
ranging from lower risk choices like government bonds and fixed income funds, which are essentially loans you made to the government or corporations that pay you interest,
Okay.
to potentially higher return, but also higher risk options,
Yeah.
like stocks or even index funds, which are like a diversified basket of stocks that track a particular market index.
Index funds. I've heard that term thrown around.
Right.
But honestly, I'm not entirely sure what they are.
Okay.
Could you break that down a bit more for me?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Imagine you want to invest in the stock market, but don't have the time or expertise to pick individual stocks.
Yeah.
An index fund is a way to invest in a whole bunch of stocks at once.
Yeah.
They track a specific market index like the S&P 500,
Yeah.
which represents the performance of 500 of the largest publicly traded companies in the U.S.
Okay.
So instead of picking individual stocks,
Yeah.
you're basically buying a tiny piece of all of them. It's a great way to diversify your investments and potentially reduce your risk.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense now. It's
For
like
sure.
getting a taste of the whole buffet instead of just ordering one dish.
Exactly.
I can see how that could be a good strategy, especially for someone like me,
Right.
who's not exactly a stock market whiz. So tell me, with all these options out there,
Yeah.
how does the source suggest we figure out where to start?
Well, they emphasize that there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Mm.
It really depends on your individual
Mm-hmm.
financial goals, risk tolerance, and time horizon.
Okay.
But what they do stress is that starting somewhere is better than not starting at all.
That's reassuring. Like they're saying, don't let fear
Right.
or feeling overwhelmed
Exactly.
stop you from taking that first step. Okay. I'm definitely feeling more inspired to explore the world of investing now.
Great.
What's the final tip on this list?
The last one is fascinating because it takes a slightly different approach. Tip number 5 highlights the power of your social circle
Okay.
and suggests surrounding yourself with success-minded people. It argues that the people you spend the most time with can have a significant impact on your own
Yeah.
mindset and achievements.
That's interesting. It's like it's saying you are the average
Right.
of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Right. But I'm curious,
Yeah.
isn't that getting a bit away from the idea of
Right.
personal mindset? It
Yeah.
sounds like they're suggesting that your success depends on other people.
That's a great question, and I can see how it might seem that way.
Yeah.
But what the source is really highlighting is the power of environment.
Oh, yeah.
The influence of those around us. It's not about relying on others
Right.
for your success,
Mm-hmm.
but about creating an ecosystem
Yeah.
that supports your growth and aspiration.
Oh, okay. So it's less about like hitching your wagon to someone else's star and more about creating a constellation that guides you in the right direction.
And to support that, the source draws on some fascinating research from Stanford University.
Okay.
They studied thousands of case studies
Mm-hmm.
and found a strong correlation between a person's social circle and their financial success.
Wow.
It suggests that being in an environment where success is celebrated and encouraged can have a profound impact on your own mindset and motivation.
That's fascinating. So if I'm surrounded by people who are driven, ambitious, and financially savvy,
Yeah.
it's more likely that I'll adopt those qualities myself.
Exactly.
I guess it makes sense if you're constantly exposed to a certain way of thinking and behaving,
Yeah.
it's bound to rub off on you.
Yeah.
But how do we actually go about surrounding ourselves with those kinds of people?
Well, the source offers some practical advice.
Okay.
It suggests joining networking groups,
Okay.
attending entrepreneur meetups,
Hmm.
or even participating in online communities focused on financial growth.
Yeah.
The key is to actively seek out environments where you can connect with people who share your aspirations and who can inspire and challenge you to reach your full potential.
That's great advice. It's like actively creating that constellation
Right.
instead of just hoping to stumble upon a lucky star. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
We've explored the core principles of the millionaire mindset
Mhm.
and unpacked these 5 actionable tips
Yeah,
for cultivating that mindset in our own lives. It's been incredibly insightful.
it has.
What are your thoughts on everything we've discussed so far?
I think what's so compelling about this source is that it reframes financial success as something attainable
Mm-hmm.
for anyone,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of their starting point.
Mhm.
It's not about luck,
Right.
circumstance,
Yeah.
or hitting the lottery.
Right.
It's about adopting a proactive and empowered approach to your finances
Mhm.
and building a mindset that supports your goals.
I completely agree. And what I love is that these tips
Right.
are things we can start implementing right away. We don't have to wait for
Right.
the perfect moment or some magical windfall.
Exactly.
You can take control of our financial destinies
Yeah.
starting today.
That's the beauty of it. It's not about overnight transformations, but about making small, consistent changes
Yeah.
that over time can lead to remarkable results.
It's like they say, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And speaking of journeys,
Right.
I really appreciate how the source emphasizes the development of a millionaire mindset, rather than just focusing on becoming a millionaire. It's about the process, the growth, the continuous learning and adaptation.
That's a crucial distinction. It's about cultivating a way of thinking
Yeah.
that can empower you to achieve your financial goals, whatever those may be,
Yeah.
and to live a life of abundance and fulfillment.
I love that. So, thinking about all the tips we've covered today, is there one that particularly resonates with you?
Yeah.
Or one that you think is especially crucial for cultivating this millionaire mindset?
You know, it's difficult to choose just one
Yeah.
because they're all interconnected and build upon each other. But if I had to pick, I'd say the foundation of it all is setting clear financial goals. Without a clear destination
Yeah.
in mind, it's easy to wander aimlessly
Mm-hmm.
and get sidetracked. Having that clear vision of what you want to achieve financially
Right.
gives you something to strive for, something to motivate you,
Mm-hmm.
something to guide your decisions.
I completely agree. It's like having a compass that points you in the right direction,
Right.
even when you encounter obstacles or detours along the way.
Exactly.
And I think what's equally important is that those goals need to be meaningful to you personally.
Mhm.
It's not just about chasing arbitrary numbers. It's
Yeah.
about defining what financial success looks like for you and then creating a roadmap to get there.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great segue into our next discussion.
Yeah.
Now that we've laid the groundwork and explored the core principles,
Okay.
the millionaire mindset,
Mm-hmm.
let's delve into some real-world examples and practical strategies for putting these tips into action.
Hmm.
Are you ready to dive deeper?
Absolutely. Let's get practical
Okay.
and figure out how we can start implementing these
Um,
principles in our own lives.
Let's do it. So, let's get down to brass tacks.
Okay.
You mentioned
Yeah.
feeling a bit intimidated by investing.
Yeah.
How about we unpack that feeling a little?
Okay.
What specifically makes it feel overwhelming for you?
Well, honestly, it's the sheer number of options.
Okay.
Stocks, bonds, mutual funds,
Mm-hmm.
index funds. It's just a lot to wrap my head around.
Sure.
Plus, I worry about making the wrong choice and losing money.
Okay.
I know the source emphasizes the importance of investing,
Yeah.
but I'd rather play it safe
Mm-hmm.
than risk losing what I've worked so hard to save.
I think that's a very common feeling.
Yeah.
And the source actually addresses that head on.
Okay.
Remember when we talked about investing in financial education?
Yes.
That's where it all starts.
Okay.
The more you learn about different investment vehicles and how they work,
Mm-hmm.
the more comfortable and confident you'll feel making decisions.
So it's not about becoming a Wall Street guru overnight,
All right.
but about gradually expanding my knowledge
Exactly.
and understanding.
Precisely. And there are so many resources
Yeah.
available to help you along the way. Remember those YouTube channels and books the source mentioned?
Yeah.
They're great starting points.
Mm-hmm.
And don't underestimate the power of talking to people
Okay.
who are already investing.
Right.
Pick their brains,
Yeah.
ask questions, learn from their experiences.
That's a great point. I have a few friends who are pretty savvy investors.
Okay?
Maybe I'll reach out to them and see if they're open to sharing some tips.
Great.
Okay, so let's say I've done my research
Right.
and feel ready to dip my toes into the investment pool. What kind of practical strategies does the source recommend for someone like me who's just starting out?
Well, they emphasize the importance of starting small
Okay.
and gradually increasing your investment amount as you gain more confidence and experience.
Hmm.
It's about building that investing muscle over time.
So it's not about throwing all my savings into the stock market tomorrow.
Not all.
Okay.
Remember, investing is a long-term game.
Right.
It's about consistency and discipline, not about trying to get rich quick.
Okay.
The source actually suggests starting with a small amount that you feel comfortable with,
Hmm.
even if it's just $50 or $100 a month.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah.
It feels way less intimidating knowing that I can start small and scale up as I go. So
Exactly.
it's like they're saying, don't let perfection
Right.
be the enemy of good.
Exactly.
Are there any other nuggets of wisdom in the source that might be helpful for someone like me who's new to this whole investing thing?
Well, they highlight the power of automation.
Oh.
Setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your investment account can take the emotion and the decision-making out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a habit,
Right.
just like brushing your teeth or paying your bills.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I do that with my savings account already. It's amazing how quickly those small, consistent contributions
Yeah, it is.
add up.
It really is.
Okay, I'm feeling way more inspired and empowered
Great.
to explore the world of investing now. What about those other investment options the source mentioned?
Okay.
Things like bonds and fixed income funds. I'm still a bit fuzzy on those.
You know, it's funny you should mention those. I think one of the most valuable insights in the source
Yeah.
is its emphasis on diversification.
Okay.
It's not about putting all your eggs in one basket,
Right.
but about spreading your investments across different asset classes to manage risk.
Okay, so bonds and fixed income funds
Yeah.
would fall under a different asset class than stocks.
Exactly. Stocks represent ownership in a company, while bonds are essentially loans you make to governments or corporations.
Hmm.
Fixed income funds are just a way to invest in a bunch of bonds at once, similar to how
Oh,
index funds work for stocks.
right.
They offer a more predictable return than stocks,
Okay.
but usually with lower growth potential.
So it's about finding that balance between risk and reward.
That's the
So-
key.
Okay.
And remember, the source encourages us to constantly be learning and adapting.
Mm-hmm.
As you gain more experience and knowledge,
Yeah.
your investment strategy might evolve.
Okay.
The important thing is to stay curious, keep learning,
Mm-hmm.
and make sure your investments are aligned with your overall financial goals and risk tolerance.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. I'm definitely feeling more confident and
Good.
excited about this whole investing thing. It feels like I'm finally taking control
Yeah.
of my financial future and not just letting my money sit idle in a savings account. Okay, so we've covered the first 4 tips: setting clear financial goals, practicing financial discipline, investing in financial education, and actively investing our money instead of just saving it. What's the 5th and final tip on this millionaire mindset roadmap?
Yes. The 5th tip is all about the power of community
Okay.
and the importance of surrounding yourself with success-minded people. Remember how we were talking about how your social circle can influence your mindset and actions?
Yes.
Well, this tip takes that concept a step further.
Right. It's about creating an ecosystem
Exactly.
that supports our growth and aspirations.
Exactly.
But honestly, that's the one that feels a bit trickier to me. I mean, how do you actually go about finding and connecting with those kinds of people?
Okay.
It's not like they're just hanging out on every street corner, right?
Well, the source actually offers some really practical advice on this.
Okay.
It suggests thinking about your current network
Okay.
and identifying anyone who already embodies those qualities
Mm-hmm.
of ambition, drive, and financial savvy.
So it could be friends, family members, colleagues, mentors, even people I admire from afar.
Exactly. It's about being intentional about who you spend your time with
Mm-hmm.
and making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, challenge you, and support your growth. And remember, it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
Offer your own knowledge and support to others as well.
That's a great reminder. It's not just about taking, it's about contributing and creating a mutually beneficial
Exactly.
relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I've identified a few people in my existing network who fit the bill.
Okay.
What's the best way to approach them and cultivate a deeper connection?
Well, the source emphasizes the importance of being genuine
Okay.
and authentic.
Mhm.
Reach out to them,
Yeah.
express your admiration for their achievements,
Okay.
and let them know you're interested in learning more about their journey.
So it's not about trying to be someone I'm not or pretending to have
Not at all.
all the answers.
People are drawn to authenticity and vulnerability.
Yeah.
Be honest about where you're at in your journey
Mm.
and what you're hoping to learn.
Right.
And remember, everyone has something valuable to share, even if they don't consider themselves
Yeah.
a success story in the traditional sense.
That's such an important point.
Yeah,
Everyone has unique experiences and
Mhm.
perspectives that can be incredibly valuable.
exactly.
Okay, so I've reached out to those in my existing network.
Okay.
What about expanding my circle and connecting with new people who embody this millionaire mindset?
Well, remember those networking groups, entrepreneur meetups, and online communities the source mentioned earlier?
Yes.
Those are all fantastic
Yeah.
avenues for meeting like-minded individuals.
Right.
And don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone
Yeah.
and attend events or join groups that might seem a bit intimidating at first.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes the most rewarding experiences come from pushing ourselves
Right?
beyond our usual boundaries.
Right.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired to start building my dream team
Good.
of success-minded individuals.
Yeah.
What about those online communities?
Right?
Any tips for navigating those effectively?
The source emphasizes the importance of being an active participant,
Okay.
not just a passive observer.
Right.
Engage in discussions, ask questions, share your own insights,
Yeah.
and connect with people who resonate with you.
So it's about building genuine connections, not just racking up followers or likes.
Exactly.
Lovely.
And remember, the quality of your connections is far more important than the quantity. Focus on building meaningful relationships with people who genuinely inspire and support you.
I love that. It's about finding your tribe.
Right.
Those people who get you, who challenge you,
Right.
and who cheer you on as you pursue your dreams.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered all 5 tips now.
Yeah, we have.
And I have to say, I'm feeling incredibly energized and empowered.
Awesome.
This deep dive has been a total game changer.
Great. Well, that's what we like to hear.
You know, it's amazing how a shift in mindset
Right.
and a few actionable steps can make such a difference.
Absolutely.
It's like they say, knowledge is power.
It is.
And this deep dive has definitely given me the power to take control
Yeah,
of my financial future and start building the life I've always dreamed of.
that's fantastic. And remember,
Yeah.
this is just the beginning of your journey.
Mm-hmm.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep surrounding yourself with people
Right.
who inspire you to reach your full potential.
Okay.
The possibilities are truly endless.
You know, as we're wrapping up this deep dive,
Yeah.
it really strikes me that this like millionaire mindset,
Mm-hmm.
it isn't just about achieving financial wealth.
Right.
It's about
Yeah,
so much more than that.
I completely agree. It's about cultivating a mindset
Yeah.
of abundance, possibility, and empowerment
Right.
in all areas of your life.
It's about feeling confident in your ability to create the life you want, to overcome challenges,
Yeah.
and to make a positive impact on the world.
And that's something that money can't buy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So thinking back to all the incredible insights we've gleaned from this source,
Mm-hmm.
what's like the one key takeaway you hope our listener walks away with today?
I think the most important message is that financial success,
Yeah.
and really success in any area of life,
Right.
is not about luck or circumstance. It's about taking ownership
Yeah.
of your mindset, your beliefs, and your actions.
Mm-hmm.
It's about embracing a growth mindset, constantly learning and evolving and surrounding yourself with people who inspire and support you.
That's beautifully said. It's about recognizing that you have the power to create the life you want,
Yeah.
and that the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
Exactly. And I think that's a really empowering message.
It is. So as we leave our listener to ponder all this amazing information, what's one final thought-provoking question you'd like to leave them with?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think I'd ask them to consider this.
Yeah.
What's one small step you can take today, right now,
Yeah.
to start shifting your mindset and moving closer to your financial goals?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a huge life-altering change, just one small action that sets you in motion.
I love that. It's about taking that first step, no matter how small,
Right.
and then building momentum from there. And you know what? We believe in you.
We do.
We can't wait to see all the amazing things you'll achieve.
Absolutely. We're cheering you on every step of the way.
That's it for today's deep dive. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those wallets growing.